Welcome back, friends, and gather round for episode 27 of Simply Walking into Mordor. My name is Nauglir, and as always, a very special welcome to you if this is your first time watching with us. Now, guys, the heroic Nauglir, the great elven warrior, surveying the Lone Lands. If you've been watching the last couple of episodes, guys, we have just finished Book 2 of Volume 1, and we have freed the Lone Lands from the terrible powers of Ivar the Blood Hand. And, if you recall, we also picked up the Book 3 forward. So here we are at Candate's encampment, ready to see if we can render any further aid to the Rangers of the North. As we know, Angmar's power is rising, and so we must do all that we can to further aid the Rangers in their efforts to stop whatever power is at work in Angmar. And so here we are. Book 3, the forward, level 30 quest. We're level 28, so I think we can do them. As a matter of fact, all of Book 3 is level 30, and so we will be continuing our story through the epic quests for a couple more episodes as we do Book 3. Book 4 is a bit higher up, so we'll do some questing in between there, but Book 3, all level 30, so here we go. We're here at Candate, and let's get reading.
How can I be of service?
Estelden sends word that you are to go there and meet with Halbarad. Please hurry, for the orc fires burn hot and strong. Each moment we waste is another opportunity for the enemy. Alright, so we're going to Estelden, to Halbarad. Halbarad is a ranger in Estelden, and he is coordinating the rangers' efforts. Estelden being a hidden fortress of the rangers in the North Downs, which is quite close to Angmar. And it is, in fact, the closest hold that the Rangers have to Angmar. It is, however, a quite fair distance away. I'll just show you on the map quickly. Here we are in the Lone Lands. And to get to the North Downs, we have to go through Breeland and up into the North Downs up here. And so Estelden is all the way up here. But it is a fair distance away. And so what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to ride from here all the way through to Breeland and then on to the North Downs. I might check in with you a couple of places along the way. I'll be emptying out my inventory while we're there, and also putting down some milestones on the way. So I might catch up with you guys at some points during this ride, but it is a very long way, so I will see you guys at the next point along the journey. See you then. Alright, guys, welcome back. We are riding north. We've just left Breeland, or we're about to leave Breeland. We've ridden out of Bree, cleared up my inventory, and we're coming into the North Downs, coming up on the town of Trestlebridge. Here we are, this gloomy day in Middle-earth, riding into the North Downs. A tragedy-stricken region, mainly occupied by men, but there are dwarves and elves that live here too. And so, as we enter Trestlebridge, let's speak to the stable master. If you're curious where we are on the map, we're here in the North Downs, right at the southern western corner, which is following this Great Eastern Road, that it's called, or the whatever it's called, Great Southern Road. Following that road, and it travels from the old city of Fornost, which used to be the capital of Arnor, and then it goes all the way down into Dunland, but is currently blocked off at the Southgard Ruins. So we've ridden up that road, and we're here in Trestlebridge, on our way to see Halbarad. And the reason I stopped us here is because we are going to drop a milestone here. We're going to replace our Forsaken Inn milestone with this one in Trestlebridge, as we are going to be returning here, and it is quite a ways with no swift travel in between. So we will pop down that there. Apparently, Maria Shelton has a... yes, Destination North Downs. We had that quest from leveling up. We can complete that. No XP reward. We're not going to be questing here for now. This is the town where you would begin your quests in the North Downs if you were going to quest here. And it is an alternative to the Lone Lands, although it begins at a bit higher level. So you do a couple more quests in Breeland, up in the northern Bree fields, around here. before you came to Trestlebridge and started doing quests here. The quests here are around level 24 to begin with, and so that, or a bit lower than that, is the level I would come. Usually, if I'm coming to the North Downs, I arrive at around level 22. So we're going to ride the fairly conventional way to Esteldin, just following the road. We're going to try and hit all the stable masters on the way. I might not keep all that in, but I did just want to give you guys a bit of a look at the North Downs as we ride through. It is one of the prettier zones. It's got some nice music coming behind us there. And as we ride to Esteldin, just thought I'd give you a look at the scenery. As we come up here on the fields of Fornost, this is one of the more desolate places in the North Downs. Obviously, Fornost, as I just said, the capital of Old Arnor. Old Arnor, that is. And as you can see there, the fields in front of the city, just desolate wastes. Still with grass, but full of the dead and shades. And you can see the wall of the city over there. We're going to turn right, though, and head towards Esteldin. There's a stable master up there on the hill there that I will speak to. And from there, we will just ride straight to Esteldin. So guys, I guess I will see you when we are traveling in the Kingsfell, about to head into Esteldin. I'll see you then. Alrighty guys, here we are coming back. We're in the Kingsfell, and we're riding now into the hidden fortress of Esteldin. This wall here, very well guarded, very hard to assail. Just up here, just a side note, there is a skirmish camp out here, and we might be running some skirmishes from there at level 30 when we unlock some new skirmishes. But in we come now to Esteldin, one of the main cities of the game. There is a full crafting hall here and everything like that. We're going to drop a milestone here, binding to from our Oscaroth milestone. Now we're going to bind to Esteldin and let us seek out Halbrand. There are many quests here again. If you did want a quest in the North Downs, you would eventually make your way here, and there are enough quests here to get you quite high in level. Not sure just exactly how high. But yeah, you can quest in the North Downs here. Now I believe that Halbrand is up here, so he could be in there. No, we have to have completed chapter 7. So in here is Halbrand. Let's get this story underway, guys. I'm excited. There's a book over here of Arthedain and its settlements. Oh, it's a quest to speak to Istunen and then explore all of the ruins of Arthedain. We won't be doing that during our playthrough. But here is Halbrand, and Halbrand, take note, he is one of the leaders of the Rangers, and he's actually mentioned in the Lord of the Rings, the books. Not many of these Rangers are actually mentioned, but Halbrand is. He is, of course, the chief of the Grey Company that comes down to aid Aragorn. We will be dealing with Halbrand a lot, so it's good that we've finally met him. Let's speak to him.
What can I do for you?
Word has spread about the help you've given the Rangers to the south. Here in the Northern Lands, we need your help now more than ever. Well, Halbrand, I'm glad to be of service.
Will you do something for me?
While the eyes of Esteldin have been turned to the east, news from the west and south tells me that the enemy is moving on many fronts. I fear that the strength of Esteldin is nearly spent, and alone we cannot face this greater threat. A council of free peoples and of the North Downs must be called. Yet before I do so, I need more knowledge of this threat. I need to know if Fornost, once the capital of Arnor of old, has fallen under the sway of Angmar once more. If the enemy has taken and fortified the ruins of Fornost, we are in the gravest of dangers. Travel to Mincham, a ranger who camps on the fields of Fornost to the west, and ask for his aid. Well, that is indeed a good charge. We will be aiding Halbrand, and it seems that he wants to gather a council of the free peoples to see what must be done about the threat of Angmar. Now, Mincham, we actually did ride past him. He is camped just over here in the fields of Fornost, along the Greenway. And so, what I'm going to do is use our return to Trestlebridge, and we can ride up to Mincham from there. Alright guys, here we are in Trestle Bridge. Just going to mount up and ride to the north to meet Mincham the Ranger. See what we can find out about Fornost. Halbrad seems to think that it might have been taken under the control of Angmar, which would be very perilous indeed for the people of the North Downs, as it would allow them to attack this town of Trestle Bridge without much opposition standing in their way. So we should definitely discover that. I hope you guys are enjoying the epic story. I'm really enjoying playing through it. Book 3 is not really a book that I often do. I might release a video at some point of the normal leveling path that I do for like speed leveling to level 115. There is a fairly efficient route that I usually take, and so I might release a video detailing that process. Obviously not actually playing through it, just letting you know which levels I go to which regions and what to do where. But that will be for a later video. We are now riding up the guy with a camp and a broken heart. Can't help you now, mate. We've not come to aid the members of the North Downs as much as the Lone Lands. We've done our questing to get up to level 28 so far. All the quests around here, level 24, 25, a bit lower, as I said before. Alright, but we are now approaching the camp of Mincham. We will see what he has to say. Completing chapter 1 already. Alright. Mincham, what have you to say? There are fairly few people here. There's Mincham the Ranger, Ithramin the Elf, and Colbert the Man. Alright, beware the field. They have driven men mad. Let's speak to him.
A shadow is on my spirit.
The enemy retaking Fornost of old? Aye. From what I have seen here, I believe it is most likely that they have. From this lonely camp, I have seen the spectres of the Oathbreakers stir, and fell spirits from Angmar take shape upon the fields. I have also seen orcs spilling out from the gates of Fornost, so yes, the enemy has indeed taken Fornost once more. What cannot be told is the strength of the enemy within the ruined city, and for that, I shall need your help. So, the Angmarim have taken back Fornost, and so we are going to see how strong they are. I cannot tell you the strength of the forces of Angmar within Fornost, for I did not see them approach. The orcs and wargs that guard the gate must have entered Fornost from the north. I fear the only way to know the true strength of the enemy within Fornost is to test the defenses erected at its gates by the orcs. I would do this myself, but my old injury prevents me from doing so. If you are willing, go to the Norbury gates north of here, and slay what orcs and wargs you find. After you have done so, bring me a report of what you find. Well, classic game logic. The guy who needs our help has an injury, should be capable himself, but he has an injury and cannot complete the quest himself, so we are being sent off to defeat some orcs and wargs at the Norbury gates, which are the gates at the front of Fornost. It's alright, it's our pleasure to do so. Slaying orcs is a hobby of ours, so let's get underway. We're riding north. You can see the outline of the city of Fornost over there, and we are riding up the road to see what forces of evil might meet us. These fields are stark contrast in landscape to the fields to the south, which are still lush, even though filled with evil. But we can see here, we have found the walls of the city, and it looks as if these little encampments out here are where Mincham wants us to test their strength. So we will be going in and defeating Angmar's orcs at the Norbury gates and wargs. There are lots of different factions of orcs in Lord of the Rings Online. We're meeting the Angmars now, and they are wargs of Angmar. So here we are, we found some wargs. We're in our area of effect mode, so let's get right up. Here we are, fighting these Blogmorn, which are similar to Angmars, fighting on the same side. They're not servants of Saruman. They're like a tribe within the ones fighting for Angmar. Obviously working eye, as you can see up here. Alright, we defeated 2 of each type. Looks like they're all ranged. There's a melee orc. We can grab him. Grab this warg. Fight over here. Obviously our sword still doing us great service. Giving us great damage. Let's finish off some more of these orcs and wargs. Got a couple more to defeat. Alrighty. Hopefully farming those deeds as well, those class deeds. Let's just collect this supply crate briefly. And it seems as if there aren't that many orcs and wargs out here. But I wouldn't want to be venturing too far into the city. I do suspect there are many more than just these at the gates. Keep our health up. Our out of combat morale regen is really low at this point. As I said a couple of episodes ago, that should be getting better as we get higher in level, as we accumulate more and more of the vitality stat. Alright, this will be the amount of orcs that we need, and we just need to find 2 more wargs, which shouldn't be too hard, but I cannot see any at the moment. There's one, we can grab him. And might as well grab these 2 as well. These orc and warg. Finish off the quest. Here we go, using our Raging Blade skill. Alright, almost level 29 as well, which will give us another trait point. Very good indeed. Alright, let's ride back to Mincham. Just riding south with our news of the strength of the enemy in Bornost. Alright, how far are we riding here? Not too far. We might just chat about some concepts of MMOs. Some of these terms that I might be spitting out sometimes and not even realize that I'm saying something that people might not understand. I might just start with things around damage. So we've got a couple of different terms that we use when we're talking about damage. Lots of people will have a look at the stats on a sword and say, well, that says it's got 47 to 78 damage, common damage. And that has some helpful meaning in this game. Obviously, the 47 to 78 is used, that actual number is used. And it is used also to calculate the damage on our skills. But it's not the most useful number on the sword. In fact, the DPS is much more useful. DPS, or damage per second, tells us actually, if you take how many attacks you do per second and the average damage you'll do, that's how much damage per second you're going to be putting out. And so that is in fact the best way to determine whether a weapon is better or not compared to each other. So we're looking at DPS, damage per second, as our main determinant for what is a good weapon. Take a quick sip of water. I could feel a throat tickle coming on. I didn't want to have a coughing bit on the microphone. All right, here we are. Mincham. You are truly of stout heart to face such beasts. You have my gratitude, Nauglir. I only wish I could have done this myself instead of sending you in my stead. But time and injury prevents me from wielding a sword, let alone drawing a bow. From what you tell me, Angmar did not merely send a token force to Fornos. Nay, it appears they have sent an army. Fornos has fallen once more to Angmar. Yes, dearie me. That is, in fact, very, very bad. Very bad news. This should level us to 29, which is good news. There we go. Hitting 29. We're going to return to Halbrad and let him know that Fornos has fallen. Quickly now. You must return to Halbrad in Esteldin and tell him what you have learned here. Angmar has taken Fornos once more. From such a fortified spot, Angmar could dominate all of the north. But there are even worse things to worry about. Tales tell of a great evil which inhabits the collapsed and ruined halls of Fornost. This evil could be called to serve Angmar. Go, tell Esteldin, and tell Halbrad all that you have learned here. Yes, that is indeed a great worry for the Rangers of the North. Not only could Angmar launch an assault from Fornost that could dominate all of the North, but there is ancient evils that lie within Fornost, and so they too are threats. Now, if you don't know the lore behind Angmar, Angmar is this region up to the north of Fornost, over here. This is where the Witch King resided and did lots of damage to the kingdoms of old here under the dominion of Sauron, and the Witch King, of course, being the leader of the Nazgûl. So it seems that the forces of Angmar are once again returning to do more damage as Sauron once again rises to power. So, let's tell Halbrad of the dangers.
Greetings.
I suppose we can be thankful that we are no longer as ignorant of the enemy's plans as once we were. Yet the question of how we will face these threats looms over us all. The peoples of the North Downs must be called together for a council to deal with this threat. There is much to do, and much I will ask of you in the days ahead, if you are willing of spirit. Alright, we are indeed of willing spirit, and it looks like we've got a bunch of quests here to grab as we attempt to gather the free peoples to a council. So, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6, all can be done at the same time.
Might I take a moment of your time?
A call to dwarves. We will need the might of the dwarves of Othrakar if we are to face the threat of Angmar. The dwarves are good Longbeards. So those are the dwarves that are also in Thorin's Hall that we've done dealings with before. But they have long been put to task by the Dourhands. When the Dourhands showed their true loyalties, the Longbeards drove them out of Othrakar. Yet they are still hard-pressed by the Dourhands, and only recently has one of Durin's folk from Erebor, Dori, come to aid them. It will not be easy to convince them to lend their strength to the council, but you must try. Travel to Othrakar and speak with Dori. If you cannot find Dori for some reason, speak to a dwarf named Hanar. He is the Longbeards of he is who leads the Longbeards of Othrakar. So there you go, Dori, who was one of the dwarves who went on the quest for Erebor in The Hobbit. He apparently is in Othrakar, which is a dwarven settlement just to the north of Esteldin. So they are the dwarves. They will be part of who we are enlisting for service. Who else? A call to elves.
Stay a moment.
To the south of Esteldin, there stands a small refuge of the elves. Many long years have the elves dwelt there. However, in recent days, most of the elves have left the glade. What is worse, I have heard that those few that remained were slain by stone trolls from the north. It is an irony that Gildor Inglorian, an elf lord of Rivendell, was coming to give word of the enemy's movements, but arrived too late to save those who remained. He should be called to the council, but I fear that he will be too consumed by the desire to protect both the glade and his people from their rage. It will be your task to go to Lyn Gileath and convince Gildor to come to the council. Well, more famous characters. Gildor Inglorian, one of the elves of Rivendell. He, in fact, ends up at the Council of Elrond and is mentioned in the books, and he's down here in Melwinen in Lyn Gileath. And finally, we have a call to men. Of all those that had suffered in the North Downs, it is perhaps the people of Trestlebridge who have suffered the most. They have stood firm against all orc attacks, but their own numbers are dwindling. In fact, the mayor of the town, Lavelle Boskins, was recently slain, and his daughter, Nellie, now leads the people there. I would ask you to go to Trestlebridge and speak with Nellie. We will need her leadership at the council. I will give you a word of warning. Although her people have the most to gain from coming, Nellie will be the hardest to convince. The constant attacks will block all thoughts of anything but dealing with the immediate threat. Well, dearie me, it sounds like we have a task on our hands. We have to convince elves, dwarves, and men to come together and see if they can put aside their immediate worries for the good of the whole North Downs. Now, we did level up to 29 there, so we'll deal with that quickly. We have a couple more minutes still in this episode, and so we might just get on our horse and ride to Othrakar to the north, where the dwarves are, so that we can begin aiding them and convincing them, hopefully, to join the Council of Esteldin. But on the way, let's inspect our trait points. We have another trait point to assign from level 29, and we're definitely going to hit Ardent Rage there. Another fervor point from Battle Frenzy, always wanting to increase the effectiveness of that skill, and so we'll definitely put a point into that. Very well, that's good. And I think we also got ourselves a race trait. Yes, we did. We got ourselves Those Who Remain, which is a race trait giving a bonus to will. Although that will not be very useful for us. I don't think we'll be equipping that. Will is not a very helpful skill for us champions, and so we will leave that to the wayside. I think they've done a really good job of balancing the high elf. Obviously, they are a bit more powerful than other races, although not too much so. Their sword damage bonus, we will definitely be getting Blade Dancer, plus 5% extra damage with our sword. So we'll definitely be taking that. But they've given something for everyone. They've given a will bonus, a light damage bonus. So pretty much any class will get a bonus from playing the high elf. And of course, giving that extra 5% damage for a fellowship bonus, and also the revive, along with the 10% out of combat run speed. Any class that the high elf plays will be benefited by being a high elf. But here we are, Othrikar, one of an old dwarf fortress. There is a stable master here, so we'll speak to him. There are, again, many quests here to do if you are questing through the North Downs. But we are here to speak to one specific dwarf, and that is Dory, if we can find him. Hanar is there, but can we find Dory? Does not seem so. I guess we're going to have to speak to Hanar then. I was hoping to speak to a famous dwarf, but that's alright.
What do you need?
You seek Dory. Alas, Dory has been captured by the Dowerhands. An envoy of the traitors just left, and said that if we did not turn over the mines to them, Dory would be killed. Well, that is not good news at all. I think we have a couple minutes left. We can complete this quest in a fellowship. Inspiration will assist us if we undertake this challenge alone. So we will get inspiration for this quest. A council of the free peoples. How could we give thought to a council with Dory gone? It was only with Dory's arrival and the hoard of gems he brought that hope began to creep back into our hearts. But Dory has been captured, the gems lost, and all hope is stolen away. If those men, those rangers, wish to have the help of the dwarves of Othrikar, then Dory must be freed. You, if you are the ranger's envoy, must do this, if you desire our presence at this council. Dory is likely being held in the Dowerhands camp to the west of Othrikar. Free Dory and escort him to safety. Once he is free, we will make our decision regarding this council of things. Alright then, we will find Dory. So let's ride to the... Where are we going? To the east. I don't think this is the best way to go. We're going to fall off a cliff if we go that way. Let's ride up the steps here. Let's see if we can get over the hills. Doesn't look like it this way either. My bad. Alright, we're going up to the north and then to the east. Oh, looks like we've got a captain over here. Level 52 captain. You look very strong for this area. Alright. Riding through here. Down to these other dwarf ruins, which is where the Dowerhands are encamped. So it seems we may have to fight our way through to find Dory. Alright. Are we going in the right place? I think so. I hope so. Let's fight in here in Ostgalomar. Listen to that dwarven music in the background. Isn't that awesome? That's one of my favorite tracks in Lord of the Rings Online, the dwarf-themed music. We'll be hearing a lot of it as we fight these Dowerhands. Alright. Take the battle to them. Using Battle Frenzy, getting heaps of frenzy this time. Heaps of fervor, sorry. And bring these Dowerhands down valiantly and with might. Bringing us down to half health. And I think, yes, here we are. We found the cage where Dory is held, and hopefully we can free him. Alright, bringing this Dowerhand ruffian down. Using Fight On. Oh my! I think we just got our little bonus of inspiration there by standing in a specific spot. And I don't really know why. Do we stand in a specific spot and get inspiration? Oh, yes, it looks like it. Oh, look at that. We have 7,000 health. Alright, let's speak to Dory. Here he is.
What do you want?
Well, it's about time. Those Dowerhands took the hoard of gems I brought. We've got to get them back. Othrikar is depending on them. Come now, before the Dowerhands get suspicious. Alright, so we're going to escort Dory and free him, bring him back, hopefully convincing the dwarves to join the Council of the North. Apparently these gems are deep in the camp. Oh, there's lots of people here. Okay, I'm glad we have inspiration, because these guys are powerful, but there'll be no match for our strength in dealing with multiple enemies at once. These falconers and miners. They are falconers. Where are their falcons? Alright, we've brought them down with ease. Let's rush further in. The gems are anywhere that we back here? Will they? I hope they will be. Let's get more of these guys at once. I want to fight all of them. Hopefully I'm bring them as well. Come on. Oh, we've not got inspiration at this point. Okay, that could have been a mistake. I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. We have inspiration now, so we're doing all the extra damage. But then we run out of the zone and we lose our inspiration. That is tricksy. Alright. Yes, we've done it. Okay, we've cleared the camp. Can we... Where are we going? We're running back here. Oh, yes. NPCs have a way of doing that. If you enter combat with them and then drag them over somewhere, they'll run back to where they began the combat to finish it up. Oh, there's a gem thief. Well, you seem like the person we're looking for. Raging Blade to bring down those ruffians and the gem thief. There we go. Yep, just run back. I mean, the box is right here that you're looking for. Here's the chest. Good. Okay, yes. Open it up. Okay, we've got the gems. Let's be off. I agree. The faster we get out of here, the better. Are more enemies going to spawn in for us? Oh yes, here we are. Just old birds and falconers though. Nothing too much that we can't handle. Stay close. We will stay close. I'm loving this music, guys. I really do love the dwarven music in this game. Oh, Dory's keen. He really wants these guys down. Don't blame him. Let's clear the road ahead of him. That he does not have to fight, but he is. Alright, let's grab all these guys. I know we don't have inspiration at this point, but I'm sure we can handle them all. We're a champion. A valiant fighter. Oh, now we've got inspiration. That'll help. Oh, well, there's lots more guys. That's not great, but we've got all the damage in the world, so we can deal with them easily. This quest is just haywire. Alright, for the Longbeards. Come on, Dory. Where are you going? Gotta finish up the episode, mate. We're nearly free of the camp. I agree. Yes, let's be done with this place. Do not falter now, it's only a bit further. Gonna be anyone else other than this bird to get in our way? Why are you going this way, Dory? Othrakar's just over there. We don't need to go further south. Okay, we're going through the whole camp, apparently. This was not the best way to go, Dory. Come on now. But more Dowhands to slay. That is always good, especially for a high elf. Although I don't know if we have our racial deed to slay Dowhands yet. We do get a enmity deed to defeat many Dowhands. I'm not sure we have it quite yet. Let's just give it a bit of a check. No, I don't think we do. That's unfortunate. We've slain many. Anyone else? Anyone else worth our strength and our inspiration? Okay, we've escorted him to safety. Let's quickly return to Othrikar, and we will end the episode out from there. We're just going to ride up the hill here. But guys, that is going to be all for today. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like. Hope you have enjoyed this exploration of, of this book 3. We're getting through it. Hopefully we will finish it next episode, if not the one after that. I'm really enjoying doing these epics, guys. I hope you are enjoying watching them. So, that is going to be all. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any suggestions or comments or feedback, make sure you leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be glad to read them and respond. But just as we return to Othrikar, this will be the last thing we do today, reading this quest text, and hopefully getting these dwarves to join the council. Alright, Hannah.
Well met.
You have done a great thing for the dwarves of Othrikar this day. Dory arrived not long before you and is resting inside, but he told us of your valiant rescue. We are at your service. Very good. Oh, look at these gloves. Finally, some good quest rewards. That axe is also quite good, but our sword is a bit better. We need something to match this with, unfortunately, so we're not going to take it. We are going to take that gloves. Before he retired, I told Dory of your message about this council of Estelden. He recommended that we should go, and I agree with him. The dwarves shall lend their might to this council and free all of the North Downs from the clutches of the enemy. Go now and tell the rangers we shall come. Very good. Looks like we've convinced the dwarves to come along for the ride. So guys, as I said before, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Thanks so much for watching. This is Nauglir, and as always, it's been a pleasure playing with you. I will see you tomorrow.